Yesterday's lessons, today's conversations. Welcome to the FIS Podcast. This is Maria Abdul Hamid, and today's episode is going to be about mental health. So we're going to have a very special guest today, and she's going to be talking about what we're actually supposed to do in life. The reason we're having this episode is because sometimes we tend to forget ourselves in school assignments, extracurricular activities. So you end up forgetting about your purpose and what you're truly supposed to do. So yeah, wait for the interview with her, and that's all. Bye. Start with introducing yourself, so tell them who you are.
Of course. So my name is Hasna Fallata. I am the founder and head of Impractical Intelligence Psychology Club. I am somebody who is very passionate about psychology, and I've been kind of studying it on and off for almost my whole life. So it's something that I'm really passionate about talking.
Okay, that's great. So would you start talking about today's topic?
Okay, so for today's topic, we chose something I think everybody wonders, what are we supposed to do with this topic specifically? And it's what are we actually supposed to do in life?
Yeah.
And what do you think of the topic? What's the first thing you thought of when you heard the subject?
To be honest, I feel like it brought me back to life, because especially for me as a senior, I feel so lost sometimes. So I feel like it would bring me back to my senses and make me more aware.
Yeah. And the thing about our topic today is that it's genuinely something that everybody struggles with finding the answer to. And it's easy, but it's still complicated in some ways, which is we're going to dive into today.
Okay.
So first of all, in some way, we do know what are we supposed to do in this life. However, the exact steps or the full picture of why are we here is different from each person to the other. So that's where the struggle comes in. But basically, we are on this earth for two reasons. One is because God put us there. And the second reason is for us to build earth together. Our purpose of being on this earth is i'mar al-ard, and basically being on this earth to build this earth. And when I'm talking about building, I'm not talking about literally construction work and making beautiful buildings and architecture designs. Well, that is obviously a part of it, but it's not the whole thing. We are genuinely here to build communities, and those communities have to be grounded in justice, compassion, and cooperation. We have to contribute positively to society through our knowledge, through genuinely just being nice to each other. So that thing, I feel gets very much overlooked, and everybody thinks that they are here on earth to become the next CEO or the next Bill Gates. And while that is great, if you do it, go.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Literally. Get your bag, get your education. But you don't necessarily have to be the next Bill Gates to achieve the reason of why you are here. By basically getting your education, by building a good relationship with your parents, with your siblings, with your friends, by being nice to strangers, by going to college, going to university, getting the degree that you want, working in a field that you want, and not a field that you think will be the best or a field that will bring you the most money necessarily. That is genuinely how you achieve your goal in life. And that's so overlooked to the point where very few people are aware of this fact, and most of their focus is about how can I make the most money? How can I be the top of the top of the top?
Yeah, that's very true, because even us, when we're applying to university, I'm what major would actually get me money? But I don't really consider what I actually like. So that's a very good point.
And also there's another point where some people think, or actually most people are teenagers in high school especially, think that by senior year, I am supposed to have the rest of my life mapped and figured out.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. You don't. You genuinely don't. And I know as much as you're gonna hear this year, you're not gonna believe it until you live it. But there's only so much you can do in your senior year or in high school to, I guess, like plan the rest of your life. But most of the time, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
So I feel like society puts a lot of pressure on people, like just graduating high school. Like, first of all, how am I supposed to know what I want to do for the rest of my life while I'm only 17?
Yeah.
Or like 16. That's
Yeah.
too much pressure.
That's true.
And as you grow older, like passions change.
Mhm.
Like when I was in high school, when I applied to university, I applied to be in data science.
Mhm.
I got into data science.
Mashallah.
I did not like data science, and I left.
Okay.
So you think that you have this whole plan, and like okay, for example, for me, I thought I was gonna get into this specific university, and if I didn't get into this specific university, I'm not studying. I don't care. I did not go into the university that I thought that I wanted to go to.
Yeah.
But I'm happy where I am. Like I'm in King Abdulaziz University,
Mashallah.
and it's the 4th best university, like across Arab universities,
Mashallah.
and I'm very happy there.
Yeah.
But it's not what I had planned for. And when I first got in, I felt like my whole life and purpose is gone. I'm gone. But it's not. And like things get so much better. But because in high school I was told if I didn't believe in the exact plan that I put for myself, nothing is gonna work out. I was like, there goes my dreams. There goes my dreams.
So I feel like it's really good to remind everyone that maybe not what you plan for happens, but still everything is written for the best.
Exactly. Everything is written for you. So just like if you have a plan, I'm not telling you to not have one. Relax, like it's a good thing that you have one.
Yeah.
But please keep in mind that there is a very big possibility that that plan won't happen, and it's not necessarily because you did something wrong. It's just because that it wasn't written for you.
Yeah.
And don't let that discourage you. Like the university you want to get to, I hope you get into it. But like if you didn't, it's genuinely not the end of your times. You are allowed to be sad over that. You're allowed to cry and whatever. But keep in mind that it's genuinely not the end of your life, and you have so much more to give.
Yeah.
So keep hope. And even if you don't get into the major that you want, that's okay. You can, if it's something you genuinely want, you can study it as master's degree if you want.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, don't be too harsh on yourself, and especially that you're in a position that you're gonna get like a lot of pressure from older people about like your university degree, your education in high school. People are going to be asking about your exact grades, which you should not tell anybody.
I agree to that.
Don't tell your grades to anybody. The message that I want to get to people is you have a lot of different paths in life that you're supposed to go down. And like your university education is genuinely not everything. Go and work on that, and I genuinely hope everybody succeeds and gets in whatever they want. But you have to prepare yourself for the worst, and in whatever situation you find yourself, you have to make yourself adaptable. Meaning that if you suddenly found yourself in your dream university, in the major that you chose, and you're suddenly looking around and I'm like, I actually hate it here.
Yeah.
I don't like anybody. I don't like the subject. I don't like anything. That could be of two reasons. First of all, you didn't choose this because you wanted it. You chose this because you thought you wanted it, meaning it's probably brought you money. Your family said, that's the best thing you could do. Your friends were like, that's really interesting. You're going to be the next Bill Gates. And you were like, that's it. That's all I need in life.
Yeah.
Or you actually thought you wanted this, but when you got there, you realized, this is actually not what I wanted.
Yeah.
So when you find yourself in that situation, I wouldn't immediately say quit. Maybe give yourself a semester or two, depending on like your university's rules about like changing majors. Give yourself some time in that space. You might find that you actually do like it, or you can be adaptable to the situation. But if you don't, please do not force yourself through the rest of the degree, because this is what's right. There's nothing called what's right. You decide what's right for you. And if you decide to continue with this degree that you absolutely hate, you're gonna graduate and get into a job that you absolutely hate.
Exactly.
That's even if you got the job.
Yeah, exactly. Do you want to share
So,
with your journey, like how you coped with changing your majors? Like how it was for
yeah,
you?
of course. So when I was going through applications, I'm not lying when I say that was most of the hardest times of my life
Yeah.
because there was so much pressure. I was like in too many programs, too many extracurricular activities. I barely saw my family. I was working for like 8 hours straight on applications. Because like I wanted to apply to different countries. I didn't only apply in here. I was like, okay, I have this idea. I'm gonna get into this specific university, into data science. It's what I thought I wanted at the time.
Yeah.
And I was working so much. I was barely sleeping. I did not get into my top choices, like the universities that I wanted the most. I did not get into any of them. But I was like, you know what? It's fine. Have faith. I was like, everything's gonna work out how it's supposed to be. And then most of the universities that I wanted, I got rejected from. And then the ones that I got accepted in, I was like, do I really even want to go there? But I was like,
Yeah.
let's choose. Because I was still in the mindset of like, if I didn't do this, then I studied for nothing.
Yeah.
Well, there were actually some good choices that I just didn't give myself the chance to explore them because I was too distraught because the universities that I wanted didn't accept me. I got into the university and I was in data science. I was like, let me try this out. Now, it's actually very hard. And I don't have the mental capacity to continue in that field because genuinely, after a month of being there, I realized I don't enjoy this. This is not what I want to do, but I am just here. And I was like, I've already got in. I am here. I was like, fine. And then like one day they were all sitting in the living room and I went out of my room. I was like, I was going out, by the way. While I was passing, I was like, by the way, I'm gonna change my major. Goodbye. And I left.
Wait, what made you like, what major did you change to? Like, how did you find your second major?
So that's the thing. I didn't necessarily choose my second major. So after I left the university, I applied to the semester in King Abdulaziz University, and I did like choosing all of the majors that I thought that I wanted, like 1 through 2000 and something. And according to like what ones they have space in and whatever, they will put you in there. So they put me into communications and media. I was like, okay, this is interesting. I've never really thought about it, but let me try it out. So that's what I am doing right now.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And
I feel like your story really gave like so many students hope. Why? Because I feel like when you go to college, you're expected to just stick with one thing. So it's good to know that you're still able and you should be flexible with learning new things and trying to see what you truly you're good at. So that was a really good point.
That's exactly what's it.
Yeah.
So like what I want you to take from this is like genuinely don't think that you're gonna be in the major that you chose for like the rest of your education career, because once you actually get there, things are different. So you might not even like it, and it's not fair for yourself to stay in a position where you hate. So if you're not comfortable in the major that you chose, change it.
Yeah.
Because if I'm in a place where I'm happy, like I hate what I'm studying, whatever, even if you do, first of all, you're not going to graduate from there, let me tell you that, because every major has its challenges, and unless you really like what you do, you're not going to pass those challenges. You're going to be like, I don't actually care about this enough to even tolerate this thing. So I'm leaving. So it's either you leave university and you're like, I don't want to continue my studies, which is, I don't think it's something you should do. You need your education, whether you were a woman or you were a man. You need them, especially in this day and age. You almost can't be anything without a degree.
Yeah.
And you can work in other fields aside from your degree, but you have to have a degree.
So do you have anything else to add today for people to know?
Yes, the last thing that I want to talk about is just to wrap up everything we have said. If you have a plan in life, that's great. However, don't think that this is what you have to do. Be accepting to change. And the reason you're genuinely on this earth is to experiment. And the reason why you are here, as I said earlier, is to build earth. That doesn't necessarily have to mean with your job. You, like, by being nice to strangers, you are making their day. And why should I make a stranger's day? Because that would make the society stronger. Like, every time I have an encounter with a stranger, I'm like, maybe the world is not that bad. Maybe this society is actually cute, you know? So by doing that and restoring hope in our society, we are building it together, which is the whole reason you are even here. So just have hope, be patient. Your journey is not going to be... So it's okay, be accepting to change. Don't think that everything is like concrete. And genuinely, you make meaning to your life. Like, you make the meaning to your life. If you're somebody who likes to help people, make that your life mission, is to help people, to make people happier, to be somebody that people find comfort in. And that's genuinely all that matters in life. As long, like, wealth is great, but it's not like the top of the mountain. It's not what you were meant to be. And please, don't make these like materialistic things what makes you decide what type of human you are. Like, you are way more than the physicalities of things. And this sounds basic, but it's very hard to remember at times, especially when you're like around peers who are like very much focused on these things and only value people based on like these things. You are the only person who is allowed to determine who you are and what are you supposed to do in life.
Yes.
So take that with you to the rest of your life, and inshallah you will be fine.
Inshallah. Wallah, thank you so much for sharing so much advice. I feel like this episode is going to help so many people, specifically people in high school, because I learned so much from this too, because I feel like I was just not able to be flexible in my career in the future. So thank you for sharing your story with everyone, and I wish you the best of luck in your major. Inshallah, you become the best in your field. Bismillah. Inshallah. And thank you so much.
Of course, it was literally my pleasure. This was so nice. The best host ever.
Thank you.